Welcome back everybody, MC here with another video, and today I want to show you guys how to use the nurse during boss fights and in all other situations in Terraria. Now as you can see here, I just healed using the nurse, and I obviously did it very quickly, so let me explain what I did there and then you will see it a bit better when I get back to the nurse when I come back the other way. So what you want to do is you want to put the nurse into a home that is an NPC prison house, as I like to call it, and you want to make it so that the blocks are just above your head so that you can just walk underneath it, but no taller than that. You want to walk up to the nurse and you want to have auto pause turned on, go into your menu, right click on the nurse and left click on heal. Now they changed it in this game recently where if you click on the nurse after auto pausing, it automatically unpauses the game. So using this tactic is a little bit harder than it used to be. Before, you used to be able to do a full heal before the game unpaused, and that way you'd be able to use the nurse as much as you wanted. So I'm just going to show you a few more times here how to do this. Usually what I do is I'm on a mount that makes me slightly taller than the building. As I said, make it so that you can just walk underneath it, and because I'm on a mount, I literally stop on the block. I can't move left any further, and then I do the nurse trick. Then I run in the opposite direction, and I usually have a heart statue on this side as well, just so you can get some health. Now obviously it doesn't always have to be on a platform, it can be on like if you're doing a square arena, for example. So you run up to the nurse. As soon as you hit the block, you press the auto pause button. Then you right click on the nurse and then you left click on heal. You have to be quick because as soon as you hit right click on the nurse, the game is going to unpause and the boss is going to be able to attack you again. So as I said, you have to be careful. Make sure you have money as well, because if you don't have gold in your piggy bank and you try to use the nurse, I've died a few times like this, you're going to end up in a situation where you can't heal and then you just die next to the nurse. Now there's a few things to tell you about the nurse as well. When it comes to the nurse herself, she heals very quickly, so it's very hard for her to die to bosses. But if you stand there for too long, she can die, especially if something is in the area that's doing contact damage. So you have to be careful there as well. And when it comes to the nurse itself, a lot of people say that this is a very cheesy way to fight bosses in Terraria. I kind of agree. My bet for you is, or what I've done myself, is I've killed at least every boss once in Terraria over the years without this trick, and this just makes it a little bit easier to kill bosses and to fight enemies, honestly. So I'm going to show you here how to do this without using a mount. It's the same thing pretty much. And just going back real quickly to the cheesy part, only use this if you feel like you're happy to be healing fully in the middle of a boss fight. If you feel like you're cheating or feel like you're cheesing, don't use this. Just use a heart statue instead, because heart statues are 100% not cheating or cheesy. They're meant to be that way, you know? When it comes to the way I'm doing it here by walking underneath, the reason why you're putting the nurse into a prison house is so she can't move. But you also want to be able to reach her from all sides. So because she's in her prison house, I can reach her from the left, from the right, and underneath. And that's exactly why I make it so that I don't have any room above my head apart from just enough space to walk underneath. And of course, as I mentioned before, if you're using the mount, you're going to mount into the wall. The wall will stop your mount from getting through, and then you just right click. So you walk up to the nurse, auto pause and heal. I'm doing it very quickly, as you can see. You get a lot quicker. When you first start, you're going to be a lot slower than me. It's completely fine, especially since you're going to be able to heal. Maybe practice it a little bit before you try and do it in a very important boss fight. Try and use it against normal enemies, for example. Speaking of normal enemies, one of the best things you can do against normal enemies is you can put the nurse into a prison house in the area and heal during big events. So for example, you could use it during the total eclipse, during the other events of the game. And most importantly for me, or one of the ones that I use it for the most, is the pillars. If I have the pillars and they're kicking my ass, usually what I do is I put the nurse nearby, run off, get a full heal, run back in, do as much damage and take as much damage as I can, and then run back away and try and get the nurse to fully heal me. So once again, I'm going to run in, I'm holding literally the left, I'm moving left, and it's going to stop me from moving. I'm going to auto pause, I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to left click on heal. So you try and do it as quickly as possible and get some practice. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Let me know if you think this is a little bit too cheesy and you shouldn't be using it in your playthroughs. And yeah, let me know if you have any other ways of using the nurse to heal. Thank you very much one last time, and ta-ta!